Disappearance.
In 2011, Amber Gerweck had just moved into her one-bedroom apartment near Jackson, Michigan. She was working on bettering her life and shared custody of her 4 children with her ex-husband, whom she divorced in 2006. She had a steady job as an administrative assistant and was going to school. On Saturday, April 9th, Amber spoke to her mom, Jackie, on the phone. Jackie said she spoke to her daughter often as they lived far apart. Her mom lived in Georgia while Amber resided in Michigan. On April 11th, Amber's Aunt Diane, who lived near Amber in Michigan, called Jackie to let her know that no one could find Amber. Jackie's heart sunk. Amber was reported missing that day. Where was Amber Gerweck? Hello, and welcome to a bonus episode of the Where Are They podcast. If you're here, I can't thank you enough for your continued support of our show. Today's episode is a little bit different as we are going to look at a case that has been solved. Amber Gerweck was a missing person for almost a month, and her case has so many twists and turns, but I think there's a lot we can learn from her story. While I do think some of the details in her case are very rare, the way her case was investigated and the fact that she was found a month later shows us that all missing person cases have hope. So let's go to April 2011 and talk about Amber Gerweck. Amber was born in 1978 to parents Jackie and Dale Seeger. Amber would get married in 1997 and have 4 children with her husband. They would end up getting divorced, however, in 2006, and they would share custody of their 4 children, although their father would retain physical custody. On April 9th, 2011, Amber spoke to her mother on the phone. She told her mother that the children were with their father that weekend and she was going to spend the day studying for school. The phone call was normal by all accounts, according to her mom. A few days later, Amber's Aunt Diane received a phone call from Amber's work looking for Amber. They told Diane that she had missed a couple days of work and no one had heard from her, which was very out of character for Amber. Amber had been working as an administrative assistant for a consulting company, a company that contracted with the U.S. government, specifically Homeland Security. Amber had recently moved from a cubicle to her own office and was really happy with where things were going. It simply didn't make sense for Amber to not show up for work, especially without calling and letting anyone know. Diane called Amber's mom and dad in Georgia to let them know Amber was missing, and Jackie said immediately her heart sunk and she knew something was wrong. She just felt it. Amber was reported missing in Michigan, and detectives immediately went to her apartment. Once they gained entry, they realized that Amber was not there, and the apartment looked pretty normal. There was no signs of a scuffle, no signs of a break-in, nothing really out of the ordinary. The investigator did notice Amber's purse on the kitchen counter, and when checking further, they did find her wallet and keys did seem to be missing. They also did find her cell phone on her bed lying among her computer and her school papers. So it appears that she left without taking her purse and her phone, but did take her keys and wallet. Her car was also gone. Later that day, police entered Amber into the missing person database along with her missing vehicle. And shortly after doing so, the investigator on the case received a call from a detective in Georgia. No one expected this. Amber's car was found abandoned in the parking lot of a Dollar General in Tunnel Hill, Georgia. They now had Amber's car, but still no Amber. Tunnel Hill, Georgia is about 35 miles from where her parents lived in Georgia, so everyone was really shocked and confused. Police searched the car for clues and found Amber's debit card sitting on the front seat. They also found a receipt with items purchased from that Dollar General. Since the receipt had a timestamp, authorities were able to pull surveillance footage from the store and see who purchased those items. Everyone was shocked once again. Her parents identified it as being Amber on the video. They didn't see anyone with her, although she was walking up and down the aisles looking really serious. Panic started to really set in. Her parents raced to that Dollar General and that area to see what they could find. Many thoughts were running through the family's minds, and one thought in particular was exceptionally scary. Amber had been working for a company that contracted with Homeland Security. Did something happen through her work that put her in danger? Did she know something she shouldn't have, or did she hold a key to some important information? Was it possible that Amber was on the run? Police were stumped as well. There were no cameras outside of the Dollar General, so they couldn't see what happened in the parking lot after she left. So where was Amber? Her car was locked up and her key was left inside with her debit card. Investigators wondered, did someone take her against her will, or did she go willingly with someone? Her dad scoured the land around the Dollar General looking for Amber. He walked up and down the aisles at the store, retracing her steps as he had seen on the video footage. They just couldn't make sense of what was happening. Both he and her mom were terrified of finding her, but desperate at the same time. They made missing person posters and flyers and put them up everywhere. They had everyone sharing it on social media. Her mom said she was finally grateful for Amber's distinctive angel tattoo that she had on her back. Her mom said previously she had been against Amber getting it and was really disappointed that she had gone through with it. But now this seemed like it would give them some identifying mark to help them spread the word and find Amber. So how did Amber end up in Georgia, and why? Why did she leave her apartment, apparently packing no clothes and not even taking her cell phone? Was she forced or kidnapped? Or did something happen that led her to going on the run without warning? And now, where did she go when she left the Dollar General store? Weeks would go by, and there are no sightings of Amber, no sign of her whatsoever. Her parents are beyond distraught. When the GBI, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, gets involved, they conduct searches of swampland and remote areas in Georgia near where Amber's car was found. Her mom said she'd hold her breath during those searches, praying that they didn't find her because she knew if they did, she wouldn't be alive. On April 27th, searchers take a pause as several tornadoes swept through northeastern Alabama and northwestern Georgia. This took many first responders, law enforcement, and others that had been assisting in Amber's case out of the area as they went to focus on the tornado rescue and recovery. The agent in charge, Agent Sims, still tries to dedicate an hour or two every day to Amber's case, but the family was losing hope. In a tragic coincidence, years prior, Jackie's brother had gone missing. He was an official missing person for 2 years before his body was found in the woods in Michigan where he had succumbed to hypothermia. Now she was faced with reliving that nightmare as her daughter was now a missing person. Police investigated sexual predators in the area and believed that something bad must have happened to Amber to cause her to leave in the way that she did. On May 4th, almost a month after Amber vanished, the agent calls both Jackie and Dale into the station to talk to them, and they are led into separate rooms. The investigator with Jackie tells her that there just isn't much more they can do. He promised to continue investigating, but they were out of leads and they were getting nowhere. Dale, on the other hand, gets a little different chat from investigators. They had insinuated to him that they had learned some information, and they believed that Dale possibly knew where Amber was and that he was helping hide her or was keeping her whereabouts unknown to everybody else. Dale does eventually convince Agent Sims he had nothing to do with this, but the police still tell Dale that they just don't know where to go next. Later on that same day, May 4th, Agent Sims receives a call from Joliet Police Department in Illinois. They had picked up a woman who was wandering in a city park and they had taken her to a local hospital. She was registered as a Jane Doe. Joliet Police Department posted this woman's photo asking for help identifying her, and someone online recognized her and reached out to the Joliet PD. They told them this person was Amber Gerweck. The identifying characteristic? The angel tattoo. Agent Sims called Jackie and Dale and told them that they had found a woman in Joliet, Illinois, and they believed it might be Amber. They shared a photograph with them, and Jackie and Dale said they knew immediately it was indeed Amber. Amber had suffered some sort of form of transient global amnesia. According to the Mayo Clinic, transient global amnesia is a sudden, temporary episode of memory loss that can't be attributed to a more common neurological condition such as epilepsy or stroke. During an episode of transient global amnesia, your recall of recent events simply vanishes, so you can't remember where you are or how you even got there. The odd part is, Amber can remember the events leading up to her disappearance. She remembers talking to her mom, studying on her bed, and then deciding to make a run to a nearby convenience store. She said she grabbed her wallet and put a sweatshirt on and went down to her car. Once she got in her car, she realized she had forgotten her cell phone, but figuring she'd only be gone a few minutes, she didn't bother to go back in for it. She remembers making it to the store and walking up and down the aisles, and that's where her memory ends. She has nothing beyond that. Until she was in Joliet, Illinois, wandering about the city park. To this day, no one knows how Amber got from Georgia up to Joliet, Illinois, or what she has even been doing for nearly a month. Amber's parents immediately flew to Joliet to see their daughter, and her children were brought to see her as well. She had no memory of anyone. Her dad remembers the blankness that was in her face and in her eyes. Amber would spend the next weeks, months, and even years putting her life back together, remembering some things and focusing on creating new memories also. The doctors have said her amnesia was extremely rare, and there are really no answers for why or how it happened. Her mother believes that something or someone scared her when she was at the store, and that's what set it off. But it's likely we will never know. It is nice to hear of missing person cases where they are found alive and well. For the most part, Amber was not injured physically and was otherwise healthy. All the investigators worked together in this case across different agencies, different states. The family worked well with the investigators and they with them. And it really is a good example of good investigative work, which led them to finding Amber, even if it did take a few weeks. So, what do you think of Amber Gerweck's story? Had you heard of it before? It is a nice break from our original format to hear a story that does have a happy ending. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Where Are They? We will be back again next week. Till then, stay safe and hug your loved ones.